Kamusta mga kaibigan? Welcome to Josh Friends, where faith meets friendship and inspiration is always within reach. Ako po si Father Migs Ramirez, and as we step into another year together, I'm so glad you're here with us. For those just joining us, think of this as your spiritual tambayan, a place where we gather to share stories of faith through the amazing collection from JESCOM exclusives, Stories of Faith. Whether you're a long-time listener or this is your first time here, tuloy po kayo. Part na kayo ng barkada namin. Each episode, we invite friends of the Jesuits to share something special from the JESCOM Exclusives library. Readings from our books, song lyrics turned into poetry, and words that might be exactly what your heart needs to hear today. So, sit back, relax, and let's dive into another episode of heartwarming stories and uplifting messages. Are you ready? Let's go!
In every game, there's a moment when your HP is at 0, your team is wiped, and the screen asks, "Continue?" Most people say yes, but what happens when real life asks the same question? Hey guys and otakus, I'm Carlos, communication student, anime stan, professional overthinker. Yes, fully aware of that last one. I live in 3 worlds: video games, music, and anime. Right now, it's Jujutsu Kaisen and Naruto on repeat. And honestly, parang comforting siya. Watching characters completely fall apart, lose everything, get crushed, and still choose to get back up. Hindi dahil okay na sila, but because may something pa silang pinoprotektahan. That feeling, I know it personally. This is my last semester at Trinity University of Asia. Thesis, deadlines, life decisions, all showing up at the same time like they coordinated. And being neurodivergent on top of that, the task management, the sensory overload, the mental noise that just won't quit. Some days, showing up is genuinely the hardest thing I do. But here I am, still showing up. Someone asked me recently about my wins and setbacks this year, and I sat with that question longer than I expected. Kasi holding both at the same time, that takes something. 3 setbacks. I lost a friendship this year. Sad, but that's life. I've been carrying this feeling of being delayed, like someone has a map and I'm still looking for mine. I'm still picking up from 2020, the year I was supposed to graduate. But also, 3 wins? Hopefully graduating this June. Manifesting it, of course. Lord, please. My thesis got selected for a colloquium, which is honestly one of the biggest things that's happened to me. And I've met people this year, the kind of connections that actually stay. Same quarter, same me. Exhausted, but growing. Ikaw, how do you hold both at the same time? I was featured on Humans of Ateneo recently. Reading my own story back to myself made me pause. Kahit sa stress, kahit sa messy and unfinished parts, God has been walking with me. Not ahead, not waiting at the finish line, with me, right in the middle of the chaos. And that's exactly where this week's Sacred Space reflection landed for me. Third week of Lent, most people are searching for happiness. But if happiness becomes the sole goal, it is often missed. Jesus suggests that happiness comes to those who seek something else, to serve others. Then it points to the Last Supper. Jesus, knowing everything that was about to happen, knelt down and washed feet. All of them, including Judas. That kind of love doesn't make logical sense. It's not transactional. It doesn't wait for you to deserve it. It just shows up. In the mess, in the betrayal, in the uncertainty. Ganyan pala ang love na yun. And that same thread runs through Siete Palabras, the word for a weary world. It's a reflection on the 7 last words of Christ on the cross, and the chapter on the fourth word stopped me completely. Eloi, Eloi, lema sabachthani. My God, why have you abandoned me? Father Manoling breaks down the two kinds of despair. The first is losing faith altogether, but that's not what Jesus experienced on the cross. What Jesus felt was emotional despair, real, human, psychological distress, the kind that's familiar to anyone who's grieved, been falsely accused, or carried pain that won't let up. Here's the detail that stayed with me. Throughout his ministry, Jesus called God Abba, Tatay, tender, close, present, but on the cross, wrapped in pain, he could only say, Eli, the distant, mysterious God, the one hidden beneath clouds. Nagkaroon ng emotional distance si Jesus sa Diyos na pinakakilala niya. And I thought, I know that feeling. Not in a dramatic way, but there are days, overstimulated days, deadline days, friendship lost days, when God just feels far, when the closeness goes quiet, when you're crying out and the silence feels louder than everything else. And what Father Manoling shows us is that Jesus went there too. He didn't perform peace, he didn't feel. He cried out, honestly, into the void. That's not weakness. That's faith under real pressure. But here's where it turns. Eloi, Eloi, lema sabachthani is actually the opening line of Psalms verse 22. And the Israelites know their Psalms the way we know our playlists. You hum the first line, everyone knows the whole song. Psalm chapter 22 states in Lament, raw, dark, honest. But it doesn't stay there. It moves into memory, into lust, into praise. In your fathers trusted, they cried out and you rescued them. So when Jesus said those words from the cross, he wasn't just expressing despair, he was praying the whole psalm, holding the lament and the hope at the same time. Parang thesis, brutal sa umpisa, chaotic sa gitna, but you trust it ends somewhere meaningful. And then, Father Manoling states that the smoke question most of us have asked at some point, probably at 2 a.m., but late at night. Lord, if you love us, why do you allow us to suffer so much? His answer is quiet, but it lands. God doesn't reply with a theological argument. God replies with an event, with a person, with the cross. In Christ crucified, God personally experienced vulnerability, pain, forsakenness, aloneness. The God you're praying to has actually been in the dark too. Not metaphorically, actually. So when your brain won't stop and the deadline is tomorrow and the friendship is gone and you're still not where you thought you'd be, you are not alone in that. Hindi lang siya nanonood. He is in it with you. This Lent, I think the invitation isn't to perform okayness. It's to stop rushing the timeline. Stop grieving only in private. Stop pretending the messy draft isn't the real one. My thesis got selected for a colloquium. That's a big win. But the version of me who wrote it was also overwhelmed, grieving, neurodivergent, picking up from 2020 feeling behind. God bless the messy draft. Palagi niya ginagawa yun, no? So if you're in a season where God feels more distant than close, you might just be at verse 1 of Psalms verse 22. The lament is real, and it's also the beginning of a song that ends in praise. Keep going. Faith isn't just something we hold, it's something we live. This 2026, let's move on from reflection to action, from knowing to doing, from reading to becoming. Journey with us through books and don't just inspire, but challenge us to step forward with courage. Pick up Siete Palabras, the word for a weary world, and let the reflections walk you through with the cross in a way that feels like a lecture and more like someone sitting beside you in the dark saying, "Hindi ka nag-iisa." Read more and take the next step. Head over to JessCom exclusives on jesscom.ph. I'm Carlos, still figuring it out. One deadline, one setback, one win at a time. Bless our darkness and let the light in.
Maraming salamat po mga kaibigan. I hope the words we shared resonated with you and gave you something beautiful to carry into your week. Remember, the full book, song, or resource we featured today, along with so many other inspiring materials, can be found at JustCom Exclusives Stories of Faith. And before we go, I want to remind you, in this journey of faith, hindi ka nag-iisa. We are all in this together, growing and discovering God's love in every conversation, every story, and every moment. Ito po si Father Migs Ramirez, and until we meet again, paalam at ingat mga kaibigan.